Hello and welcome back. Got Big D over here.
We got my husband, Fatty.
Hey. And we are
Endzone
Endzone Enthusiasts. So you know what to do. Go ahead and check to see if you're subscribed. I saw we had some new subscribers last week. We see you. We thank you. Welcome. So if you are not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. We need your help. Help us out.
Yes.
This week was definitely an interesting one. There was probably lots of teams that you maybe never even heard of before who were playing, but you know what? Football can be fun for everyone.
Even for Charlotte.
Even for Charlotte. Here comes Lil C. But the games that we're going to focus on this week, we have USC playing Oregon, so a Big Ten game.
Big Ten?
Then we have Missouri playing Oklahoma, because of course the SEC.
SEC.
And then, you know what? Let's go over to the ACC and look at Pitt playing Georgia Tech, because surprise!
I don't know what to do for the ACC. I worry about y'all.
ACC. And because we spent our time and money to go to the Florida game, we're going to give you a couple thoughts on that one. We're going to give you a couple thoughts.
I don't know if you want to give thoughts.
But that's what we got coming up. Let's get into it.
Let's go.
Quack, quack, quack attack. You can't handle that. You know what I'm talking about? Of course, the Ducks. So, Oregon playing USC. That's a Big Ten game.
Yep. I wonder if there's any other Ducks in the college football.
I don't know. Quack, quack. You can handle it.
It's interesting.
So, the Trojans played the Ducks. They did play at Oregon. Now, this game kept our interest because each quarter, you can look it up, each quarter started out with USC scoring and then Oregon following up with either one or two touchdowns. There was also like a pretty exciting stretch where Oregon intercepted on USC and then USC said, "Skirt, I'm going to intercept on you." So that was pretty cool. Now, Oregon actually had 3 times, aka triple the rushing yards compared to USC. And you hear Big D always talking about if you can't run the ball, you can't win the game. So Oregon ran the ball, and the higher ranked Ducks got an at-home win against the Trojans, 42-27.
Okay, I'm going to take the mic away because this is all for me. Whoa! Yo. Okay, number one, Oregon's physicality. What I think Dan Lanning has done phenomenally well is he has actually built an SEC team in the West. He has big players on both sides of the ball, and that's really what happened is Oregon dominated the trenches. It was like, oh gosh, I felt so bad for USC. But it's the point of like Oregon was always going to be the more physical team. USC is still struggling to kind of get into their true rhythm as a team. There was so much on the line for USC. Oregon pretty much clinched a playoff berth in a home game pretty much in this win.
Yeah.
But USC pretty much eliminated their opportunity to get to the college football playoffs.
Man.
So sad day for them. But it was, to your point, is I keep saying if you can't rush the ball, you can't win the game. And it was very one-dimensional. Even when USC got to points that they found rhythm in their passing game, they could not rush the ball. And to your point, the 3 times the rushing, Oregon just dominated. It's like, okay, yeah, we're going to rush the ball, and then we're going to take a shot downfield. And you saw that payoff, and the score was definitely, I'll be honest with you, the score even to me was a little bit more lopsided. I really think that Oregon dominated the game more so than it even looked like. And for USC, you're going to ask more questions, and I do think Lincoln Riley's in a position where I think he may look for an exit. You know, he was expecting to go to a Pac-12 team, so less competition, and they have struggled in the Big Ten. You know, the Big Ten is such a, top-heavy conference. You really have to get to the point where you ask, is Lincoln Riley happy at USC? And I don't think he is. I don't think he got what he was expecting.
Let me call him up. You happy, Lincoln?
I mean, if Florida Gators miss on Lane Kiffin, I do actually think there's a high likelihood Lincoln will come to Florida.
Okay.
So, but on the Oregon side, I think they are setting themselves up for a nice home playoff game. But I don't know how far they'll go. But for me, I thought it was going to be next year, but I think they're showing that they could get close this year. I think there's a couple teams that could really take them really to the wire. But to that point, Oregon, great win. USC, again, Lincoln Riley can't win on the road. That's been a challenge for him. So we'll see what happens, but quack, quack. Okay?
Quack, quack.
Quack, quack. Okay, and that's that one.
All right, Lena, tell me, is it okay if I just don't score any touchdowns this game? Like, is that okay? Because that's what Missouri had to do against Oklahoma. The Tigers played the Sooners at Oklahoma. This was a pretty low-scoring game, and like I said, Missouri never actually got a touchdown. They had to settle for field goals every time. Now, a highlight for me was watching Oklahoma Satania outrun everybody for an 87-yard touchdown. That was pretty freaking cool. But the Sooners, they got an at-home win against the Tigers 17-6.
Okay, woof. This game was ugly. It was not like, this is like that person that you're like, but you have a nice personality, but wasn't pretty to look at. Okay, let's just be honest. Just because you see the score 17-6, like, I do understand Missouri's Bo Perbula was back from a injury, and so he had a little bit of work to do, but really it was two really good defenses, and I think that's what you saw play out is like Missouri's defense looked really good, and Oklahoma's, we know their defense was going to look elite, and to be honest, like neither team, their offense never looked really good. Their defense looked amazing, but their defense was like the outstanding part of the team.
Yeah.
I think like when we get to the point of like the implications of this game, Oklahoma, I think, is really getting themselves closer to making a college football playoff. Missouri may have pretty much, be eliminated at this point. But the big thing is Hardy, their running back, really had a hard time against this Oklahoma defense. And, I've talked about before, Brent Venables and his defense really being stout. And again, like they had the freshman Stone make really good plays. Like it was just really, both defenses were humming, but Oklahoma figured out a way to stumble into a touchdown. Like it just was very unattractive from an
or run for 87 yards.
Yeah, that was a great play, I will say. And I even called that. I was like, yeah, that's going to be a touchdown.
Because they were saying both of his parents are runners.
Yeah, I mean, when you got track stars, you got speed.
He's a runner, he's a track star.
Yeah, that part. But Oklahoma, I do think that they may be, I don't know how far they'll make it. They may be like a one in, one out, like depending what level of competition they face. But if you can't manufacture offense against Missouri, what are you going to do against Ohio State, a Texas A&M, a Georgia, Oregon? Like, that's the real challenge I'm seeing for them.
They just said Alabama.
Yeah, so really for Oklahoma, they have to beat LSU this last game, and LSU is still playing inspired. I saw that they had signs to hire the interim, but, we'll see what happens with that. But really, Oklahoma is good, but I think this offseason, they have to go shopping for some really high-level wide receivers, and they have to fix this offense, because I still think it's not where it needs to be. But Oklahoma pulled out the win. We got there sooner than we thought. You like that, don't you? But yeah, we'll see where they go in the playoff game. But yeah, Missouri, don't hang your head. Y'all still going to be good.
Yeah, Missouri's been doing good.
Yeah, but y'all probably going to lose y'all coach. We didn't want him because I don't know if y'all saw he took himself out the running for Florida because the fans weren't about that. Whoa. But he'll go somewhere. He may take the Penn State job. They'll be happy with him. So we'll see what happens. But great win for Oklahoma. I say great win. It wasn't a pretty win, but it was a win nonetheless. So great job, and we'll see where y'all go in the playoffs.
I have a confession.
What's that?
I didn't do my homework.
Got to be more careful.
So, and I'm really talking about Georgia Tech playing Pitt. The Panthers versus the Yellow Jackets at Georgia Tech. Because I don't know if Georgia Tech just didn't prepare for Pitt or what, but they were shocked and RuPauled, if you know what I mean. And you weren't ready for that?
Got him!
Shocked and RuPaul because Pitt scored 28 points before Georgia Tech could figure out an answer. What? To add insult to injury, Pitt got an interception in the other end zone and then ran all the way to the other end zone
100 yards
for a touchdown. What do we call that? 100-yard pick six.
100.
Georgia Tech was not able to overtake Pitt, and so the ranked, mind you, Yellow Jackets lost at home to the Panthers 28-42, and apparently this really damages Georgia Tech's playoff and conference championship hopes.
Right. It doesn't damage it. Pretty much eliminates the chance for them to make to the ACC playoff.
Oh.
And the ACC hasn't had high-level talent. Normally, it does depend on like 2 to 3 top-level teams. And I think this really takes Georgia Tech out of it. But it does still give Pitt a chance. So Pitt would need to beat Miami this week. And then they would need either Virginia or SMU to lose for them to make the ACC playoff, which could get them into the, college football playoffs. So really from this standpoint, it was like they weren't prepared for what Pitt was throwing at them. And I think Pitt threw a lot of things at them really quickly. And it got really quickly out of hand with that 28-0. And to your point, really the big turn of the game was that 100-yard pick six, because had Georgia Tech scored, it would have now been a one-possession game. They would have still been in the game, but then it pretty much put them out of reach, and they kept playing from behind. Haynes King had some good moments, but really he made some mistakes. Like, he's had 2 interceptions the entire season. He had 2 interceptions in this game alone. So it was uncharacteristic, but that's what happens with Georgia Tech is like when they get in the hole, it does depend on Haynes King to really carry that team for them, and he just wasn't able to. And I think it was Pitt hit them in the mouth so quick that they weren't able to really respond the way they needed to until it was too late. Like, had they kind of cut that, even if they would have got it to 21 zip before, being able to really get back into the game, it would have been a little bit easier. So they were kind of behind the 8 ball. And I feel bad for Georgia Tech because I thought this was going to really be a magical season, but they have to look forward to playing Georgia in rivalry week this week, which is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
But Pitt still has playoff hopes alive, and their defense was very disruptive. It really caused a lot of havoc, and they did a lot of things well. And even with a freshman quarterback on the Pitt side, he played really well to be a freshman, and he, they kind of put him in a position to limit his mistakes. But I'm excited to see what Pitt does because they're kind of the chaos team right now in the ACC.
Gotta have somebody to watch an ACC.
Yeah, but yeah, Georgia Tech, this loss was a little bit bad, but I worry because I'm like, Brent Key is on a lot of coaching hot boards, and even, for Florida, if they miss out on Lane, Brent Key has been, they've already done their background work on him, and he could be one. I mean, he's not my number one, but I would be excited to see from a physicality standpoint what he would do with a Florida program and the Florida recruiting. But we'll see what happens. I'm looking forward to this week to see what they do because last year, the rivalry game against Georgia was like it really came down to the wire. We'll see what happens this year. But Pitt, on the other hand, great job on this win. Disruptive, defense, great offense. We'll see where y'all take it, but I'm excited to see what happens. So that's that one.
Okay, there weren't too many games to talk about this week anyway. Plus, like I said, we did drive out to Gainesville and spent our hard-earned money to go to this game where they played Tennessee. We have some thoughts. I had some thoughts even while the game was happening.
Why don't we start with your thoughts?
Yeah. So, basically, I got the impression that Florida had no intention of winning this game. They did not care if they won this game. I was kind of thinking that they may be thinking ahead to the following week when they're going to play Florida State, which is a big rivalry game. They can maybe assume that they'll beat Florida State. I don't even know if that's a safe assumption, but that's maybe what they'd be thinking. So I just don't think they even tried to beat Tennessee. So that's my first thought. Yeah. My second thought is a question, and I'm just like, they should have told us that that's how they were going to do because I need a refund. So I need anybody out there, comment below. Let me know if you know how to get a refund because It actually was pretty upsetting to like spend our money, drive all the way out, like lots of time, money spent for a game. We wouldn't have even wanted to watch that on TV, much less be there in person. So,
right, but we do. We're positive polys, so
oh yeah, it was a fun experience.
But what about the lemonade?
I did get a lemonade, and I don't normally get lemonade. Yeah, I ate. They call me Fat E for a reason.
Yeah.
I got a pretzel. I got a large popcorn. I got a lemonade. I said light on the sugar. Lena, you get it together, girl. So it was not a good showing by the Gators. Big D, you're a big Gator fan, so what you got?
I mean, number one, it was that wasn't a game, that was a family reunion for me. So I was glad to see all my cousins on the Gator side. You know, cousins, y'all was looking good. I ain't even gonna lie. And shout out to those Tennessee fans that sat next to us. They were actually very pleasant people.
They were.
And it was a good time. And I actually had some good conversations. And I was like, straight up, I was like, who do you not want us to hire? He's like, Lane Kiffin. Do not hire him. He said, because that would be detrimental to the future of this rivalry. But from that standpoint, number one, the stadium still was rocking. Like, it was still like to come in and see the energy.
It was packed.
Yes, totally, it was completely packed, which I'm like, for a 3-17, I mean, like the fact that people still showed up for this. And, you know, for me, I think that's also a sign to the future, you know, head coach of the Gators is like, you have fan support, even when it's not at the best. And I think that, you know, for me, I'm excited about the future of it. But I'll say fireworks were really nice because we really only got to see them at the beginning when they were
right over top of us. Like, we had fireworks falling down on us.
Yeah, I think I got burned a little bit, so I need to go ahead and get my lawsuit.
So, refund and sue for burning. Lawsuit. And emotional distress.
Emotional distress is going to be my number one. We still showed up to support, and there was a lot of good things happening from a fan standpoint. And then Urban Meyer finally making the Ring of Honor, which is going to happen next year, which he definitely deserves. But I was actually more pissed off with him because why didn't you grab the play sheet and help us out?
Come,
like, bro, you in the stadium, you couldn't do nothing. You couldn't help us. Sir, I'm gonna send you a long email because you should have helped us out. Rude.
What you got, Urban?
Had us looking real weak out here, and we broke our streak, but we still, you know, I ain't gonna cry no more. You know what? Didn't I say they're there to you when FSU lost?
You did say that.
Give it back.
They're there. They're there.
I'm going to bed now. I'm done. Get me out of here.
We still have to tell people next week's.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
sorry.
Okay, now that we've survived talking about Florida,
wait 1 second. I gotta schedule my therapy appointment real quick.
Hold on.
1 second. I'll be back. Okay, we back.
Good job. Okay. So, lucky week 13 really turned out well for everybody. Now we have week 14 coming up. And I guess it's a big rivalry weekend. That's a tough one.
It's going to be crazy. I'm not even going to try to limit the games, to be very transparent with you, because you have Georgia versus Georgia Tech. You have Florida State versus Florida. And these rivalries, really, you throw the records out the window. These teams don't know what their record is. It's going to be madness. And so I'm just going to say, camp out on Saturday, because there's going to be some must-see TV. There's a couple teams with a lot riding on this upcoming week. You have Texas versus Texas A&M, which is like, that's pretty much, that can determine whether or not Texas gets into the playoffs or not.
Okay.
So I've been like, it's going to be a crazy, crazy week. So just watch football, camp out. It's going to be some crazy stuff out there. But this week is going to be a little bit different, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm. I'm going to try to watch what I can, but I'm going to be visiting my family for Thanksgiving out of town. So we'll be separated. So we're going to get creative with how we put out next week's video out, but still be on the lookout for it. And what else you got?
They need to make sure they like and subscribe, as always. We really appreciate it. Eric said earlier we have new subscribers, and we really appreciate that support. And we really appreciate y'all following us here at Endzone Enthusiasts, where we feel football can be fun for everyone. We really feel that. And as you see, where Eric is a little bit more of a novice, where me, I'm a little bit obsessive about football. I probably consume more football content than anything else. So we really do appreciate that because we want to give you a very unique perspective in everything we do. But I'm looking forward to a crazy rivalry week. And I'm really hoping that there'll be a great announcement on Saturday. So if that happens.
Ooh, coaching announcements?
Coaching announcements.
Coaching announcements are definitely coming up.
I think it's time for me to do another video because you've had some coaching shifts of like FSU is going to keep Mike Norvell. Cal just fired their coach tonight, so it's going to be a little bit of madness. So I may do another coaching carousel video, but we appreciate y'all going on this journey with us. We really, really appreciate it. But please make sure you like, subscribe, and follow us. We want to be, engaged with you, and we look forward to seeing you this next week. And safe travels to my beautiful husband.
Thank you.
I hope you'll enjoy your time with your family. I know the food won't be the same as if it's going to be. So now I got to cook for myself, and it's going to be a little bit of craziness. But we appreciate y'all, and we want to wish y'all all a very happy Thanksgiving to
happy
you
Thanksgiving.
and your family. We hope it's a magical time. Don't let football ruin your time together. And when you have the FSU person in your Florida house, just remind them that I don't know what you're going to remind yourself.
Y'all can
swing on
each other.
Swing on them immediately, okay? Immediately, okay? Don't let them up in your turkey, okay? Just joking. Be nice to your family talking sports during Thanksgiving, okay?
Yeah.
But we'll see y'all next week.
Bye-bye.
Peace.